Internet celebrity Andrew Tate was a former kickboxer, four-time world champion with a record of 76-9, or 43-9. But what's certain is that he had 9 losses. Tate was knocked out only
Wait. Let me back up a little bit.
Internet celebrity Andrew Tate was a former kickboxer, four-time world champion with a record of 76-9.
All right, bro. That says 75-9. I don't know where you got the 6 from. It says he's 33.
Or 43 and
Same age. Same gym. 40-7. There's some cap somewhere.
9. But what's certain is that he had 9 losses. Tate was knocked out only one time, as he says, but everywhere it is stated that he was knocked out 3 times. This is the whole problem with Andrew. His interviews contradict each other, the record is constantly changing.
Bro, I like Andrew Tate. Like, just with everything that he's doing and stuff like that, bro. But, fam, there's no reason to lie about your kickboxing record, fam. And I also say, like, why is dude always doing gut shots during, like, the sparring matches that he upload? Like, bro, throw a headshot up in there or something, like, who cares about body shots like that? As far as sparring, like, yeah, if you sparring, you gonna throw gut shots, but just, bro, all the time?
And the useless ISKA organization, according to him, is the mecca of kickboxing. Therefore, now I will analyze Tate's career in detail, after which we will analyze his skills. Spoiler, Andrew's fans won't like the verdict. Career. In 2005, Tate started practicing martial arts. In November 2008, Tate was ranked 7th best light heavyweight kickboxer in Britain by the International Sport Kickboxing Association, or ISKA. But this is where the problems start. It's hard to find all of Tate's fights. If you count only documented fights, then his record is 25-9. Even if you don't search for all the fights, but only title fights, many are still simply not available on the network. Let me remind you that we live in a time when the first title fight of Joe Louis against James J. Reddick, which took place in 1937, is in the public domain. There is even a version in color. However, anything can happen. Perhaps the records are really lost. So let's look at who he fought in title fights. After all, these are fights for the world title. The first attempt was successful. In 2009, Tate won by knockout in the 5th round and became the English champion of ISKA in cruiserweight. There's no information about the opponent he defeated, except for his name, Paul Randall. In the next fight, Andrew took another IKF British cruiserweight title. This time, more information about the opponent. This is Daniel Hughes, but nothing is known about his merits in kickboxing. The only mention of him is as a boxer. In this sport, he has a record of 12-3. In 2011, an attempt to take a third title was not successful. Tate was already the English ISKA champion, but wanted to take the vacant world title. This was prevented by Jean-Luc Benoit, a man about whom there is not much information, but all of it is polar. One resource says that Jean-Luc Benoit is a fighter with a record of 2-1. Out of 3 fights, 2 were against Andrew. The second resource says that at the moment his record is 31-13, although it's most likely the truth is in the middle. The rematch was organized immediately, where Tate won by knockout in the 8th round, after which a title drought set in for him. Andrew will lose 3 title fights. First, he lost a decision to Vincent Petitjean, a fighter with a blurred past. One resource says that his record to date is 2 wins, 2 losses, Another resource says that he has 60 wins and 5 losses. But the
Dang.
problem is that the same resource says that he's 190 centimeters tall. That is, he's as tall as Tate. You may have already noticed, but let's just say he is slightly lower than Andrew. In other words, you cannot trust this resource 100%. The second consecutive defeat in the title fight occurred in 2012 against a serious opponent, the Armenian Sahak Parparian. This is the first opponent in Tate's career, the level of which is not to be doubted. His record is 50-14. But most importantly, during his career, he managed to fight with really top opponents in the best promotions in the world. For example, he managed to defeat Jason Wilness at Glory, who will become the champion there in the future. But Sahak himself failed to win the title, as he lost in the final of the tournament to Alex Pereira. Tate's
Dang.
last title loss came the same year against Francis Gray, an opponent with a level below the previous one, but he managed to knock out Andrew with a knee. In 2013, Tate apparently changed his approach to fights and managed to revenge his defeat to Vincent Petitjean, for which he became the ISCA World Full Contact Light Cruiserweight Champion. Following him a year later, Andrew fought for the title against Wendell Roach,
Why did he
an
look so
unremarkable
cringy up in
fighter
the
who did
video?
not fight in serious leagues. His record seems to be 53-22, but finding his wins is many times harder than his losses. However, Andrew told his audience the victory over him was an incredible achievement, because he was the first to knock him out. Yes, this is true, but this achievement is not so impressive given the fact that Roach had almost 20 defeats at the time. This ended the title win streak. Young Ibrahim El Bustati managed to take the Infusion Live World Light Heavyweight title.
These people are saying this man. Bro, I can't tell if this dude actually do have like 80 or 70 some fights, or if he actually do got 40 some fights. So it's somewhere in the middle, bro. Either he actually do or he don't, because I'm seeing a little bit of red and a lot of green on there. And they keep bringing up all these, bro, they've been bringing up all these fights for 5 minutes.
But if you notice, wherever Tate talks
But
about
they
his
think he
kickboxing
capping.
past, he always puts the emphasis on his ISCA titles. What is ISCA? How important is this league that Andrew constantly mentions it? ISCA. If you like my content and want to get early access, you can visit my Patreon.
I don't like your
There you can
content.
find not only YouTube boxing pro fighting style is nowhere near kickboxing matches. ISCA is heavily influenced by karate. The pool of athletes competing in this very narrow fighting style is nowhere near that of boxing or kickboxing. These types of kickboxers typically do not do well in MMA. Because of that, Tate himself lost at the amateur level in MMA. Successful representatives of this style can be counted on the fingers of one hand. Michael Page and Raymond Daniels are now active. Most kickboxing and Muay Thai.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This dude video is so boring. Even with just the commentary, bro. I'm getting sleepy. Because he ain't talking about nothing.
Legends, top fighters or prospects have not even participated in ISCA events. These tournaments are rather semi-professional for those who could not get into the major leagues. For example, the same Raymond Daniels was repeatedly beaten in Glory, which is the main promotion in our time. Glory's level is so high that even Israel Adesanya failed to win the championship belt. Perhaps ISCA was a top league at the beginning of its existence and only got worse towards the end? The short answer is no. From the early 90s to the mid-2000s, K1 was the main kickboxing league. In those days, the best kickboxer was not called World Kickboxing Champion, but K1 Champion. The level of opposition was so high that even if you were eliminated in the first round of the tournament, you were still respected and considered the elite of kickboxing.
Oh,
As an
wow.
example, the legendary Melvin Manhoff, who has never been a K1 champion, has his best result in the semifinals. But the very fact that he got there made him a legend in the eyes of the fans. Another K1 legend, Zambides. He was an ISCA belt holder.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I can't watch this dude. I gotta skip it or something, bro. Cause he ain't talking about nothing. What Gabe Vargas talking about? Hold up. Let Gabe put us on game. We skipping around, bro. This dude not talking about nothing.
Stand. When people act like they know how to fight, but they really don't. And then they go on and try and teach people or convince them they're experts in the sport. And now we have.
Bro, what is this guy doing? Hold up.
When people act like they know how to fight, but they really don't. And then they go on and try and teach people
Hold up.
or convince them.
What was that stance? Let me back it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Hold up.
Talking about
Video
they
on
really
720,
don't.
y'all.
And then
Forgive
they
me.
go on and try and teach people or convince.
What is this stance? My boy said, you know he live weights. My boy said, my boy said, but somebody going meet right there on top of your head.
Them they're experts in the sport. And now we have this guy, Andrew Tate, talking about how to guard up with his gloves and how it just doesn't work. Okay, let's look at this.
People who don't fight
I will say this though, Gabe. Everybody was trained different ways. Everybody ain't got the same coach. But continue.
have this idea that you just keep your gloves up to protect yourself, but the problem is that doesn't work.
Keeping your hands up like this, I mean, you can slip, roll, but bro, you just don't want to sit there and just get ate up with shots. So this, because the gloves do got padding up in them. So whenever you get punched, you reduce an impact on your brain, bro, by having your opposition's glove hit you right here compared to them just whack like right upside the head. So I can't agree with Gabe Vargas on that. Um, you don't want to do this because you can't see nothing. So you don't want to be like this. You're getting hit all up in the face. So like this, right next to your head, chin down, bop, bop, roll, roll. That, yeah, you can do. But just like this, yeah, you going to get ate up.
Punch 20%, right? If I'm actually going like it's your face will be a mess. So the idea that you just cover up doesn't work, because if I'm landing knuckle, I'll break all the bones in your hand. You can't just statically stay there. You can against someone who can't fight. Against someone who's big who can punch, you're gonna get fucked up. You have to move.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Head movement is ideal. It'll work better. If somebody throws a punch and I can move versus guard up, sure, do that. But to say that this doesn't work, first of all, we're not fighting bare knuckle. If this is a bare knuckle fight, a street fight, then yes, things change up dramatically. But to talk about having a glove on, and if you hit somebody.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. Them folks were just talking about Iska. My boy Gabe Vargas got Iska built, so I mean, they can't be that bad, bro. I never even heard of Iska.
You're gonna slam the
But that don't
knuckles against
mean
their
like
head. You can break their knuckles.
they
Oh my
ain't good
gosh.
belts.
And it says that this guy had something like 80 fights and only 9 losses. So little on YouTube, which is crazy, because if you legitimately have even 50 pro fights on any organization that's high level, your footage is out there. You go to YouTube and it's just gonna be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and you can find fight after fight after fight. This guy has so little that you can actually watch. And the one video which I did find of him actually competing in Infusion, which is a legit organization out of Europe, he gets KO'd so hard. But this Andrew Tate guy, no, if you were wondering, is he legit? Or is he just, so-so? He's so-so. He's not a bad fighter by any means, but he's definitely not a high-level pro fighter. He would get destroyed by any kickboxer who's half decent at his weight class within Glory or 1FC. Any of those guys are going to annihilate him.
Now let's talk about
Dang, Japes. Somebody said that will now let him. Oh God, what is he got to say? I think I've seen this interview
positive
before.
feedback about Andrew. Israel Adesanya, who has repeatedly spoken positively about Andrew and supported him publicly. He stated that he did not know about Tate at the time when he was an active kickboxer.
Next to him, there's a lot of talk, obviously, about your kickboxing career. There was some talk about other, opponents of yours who've come in, other kickboxers who've come in. One kickboxer who hasn't decided to go down the MMA route, still very famous, almost as famous as you, Andrew Tate. Have you been surprised to see the route he's gone down? Did you know him when he was around the kickboxing world?
Not when he was kickboxing, no. There was just a time, maybe like a few months ago, before I got canceled. Can't cancel anyone. Yeah, he just started to pop up on my Instagram and on my YouTube, and I was just like, who the fuck's this guy?
This sounds doubly interesting considering the fact that Adesanya has nearly 100 kickboxing fights. He's had time to fight all over the world and under all kinds of rules.
Bro, I tell everybody, I don't care what they say, Alex Pereira is not the GOAT of UFC. He's not better than Izzy, bro. Izzy, I never seen all of his old tapes. I've been liking Izzy ever since he first came on UFC. Bro, this man wiped through the division in his weight class twice, bro. You ain't gonna find too many people that can do that. Alex Pereira just hit the scene of UFC, bro. His legacy isn't stamped. Izzy could retire right now, knowing good and well his legacy stamped. He going into the Hall of Fame because he fought great competition. He fought competition all the time. He stayed active. He put on great fights, bro. Alex Pereira, not Alex Pereira, but Israel Adesanya's legacy stamped up in the UFC, bro. And for everybody to think that Alex Pereira was gonna beat him up in that second fight, bro, I know you lost some money. Because a lot of y'all just Alex Pereira fanboys. Y'all just want to see someone beat Izzy. Let's keep it 1,000.
However, he didn't know about Tate's existence until he became an internet personality. This is important information since the world of kickboxing is not as big as MMA and boxing. Often local sports legends never make it to the mainstream media. But people who are passionate about this sport or are engaged in it at a professional level know about it. A striking example of popularity in a narrow circle is the drunk master Jean-Charles Skarbowski. Perhaps this name doesn't mean anything to you, but in the world of kickboxing and Muay Thai, he's known to everyone for his interesting personality and high-level skills. He even helped UFC legend Georges St. Pierre improve his skills in stand-up. However, despite all of the above, perhaps Andrew Tate really has an incredible technique, and his kickboxing career has been undeservedly bypassed. I will consider only the fights of prime Tate, and if you're interested in analyzing his last fights and how he will prove himself in YouTube boxing, let's get 10,000 likes. Technique. Andrew is a pure counter-striker. He knows how to read opponents, create feints, set traps, and provoke opponents. To be a good counter-striker, you need good physical attributes, which Andrew has. He's fast for his weight and also has good reflexes. Tate is really an athletically gifted person. Now, let's take his last title fights as an example to take a closer look at his technique. Despite his size, Tate likes to throw high kicks, push kicks, side kicks, body kicks. As you can see, all his kicks are strongly influenced by traditional martial arts, which can be found rarely in our time in kickboxing, especially in such weight class. In order to use all these kicks, Andrew needs distance, because if he doesn't have enough distance, it'll be easy to counterattack him with hands. To create distance, Tate uses the knee, often raising it. He's not only ready to check
Bro, I
low
don't know
kicks,
nothing
but
about
also
kickboxing.
creates feints. With such movements,
Bro, I'm so over this video. We finna skip a little bit more. Mention something about striking. Oh shoot, here we go. I don't know nothing about leg kicks, bro. I'm not into kickboxing.
good if he's aiming at the head, but the work on the body with his hands is very weak.
Oh
He either has
no.
very
Oh no, my boy left himself wide open. He did not move that head.
good if he's aiming at the head, but the work on the body with his hands is very.
You see how his head is right there? Y'all see where my mouse is at? How his head is just right there. He didn't move it to the... Well, that's not a jab. So I guess it's okay. But you still don't want your head that wide open, bro.
Very weak. He either has very strong swings that opponents.
Oh no, my boy elbow all the way back. He hitting them with some mean punches, bro.
Counterattack or arm punches due to the fact that he's afraid that on a strong swing he'll be caught by a counterattack. Andrew fights with his hands down like most fighters with a base in traditional martial arts. Thus his attacks with his hands become more unexpected, and the moment of swinging hand while throwing kick is not noticeable. After all, classic kickboxers need to remove their hand from the defense in order to swing their leg well. But as you already understand, lowered hands open the jaw for attack.
Would y'all rather do Muay Thai boxing or kickboxing? I'm gonna say kickboxing. Cause Muay Thai boxing, brutal.
Tate tried to compensate for this with
Kickboxing
head
about like
movement
boxing,
and
but
footwork.
just
But this is
with
where
kicks.
Andrew's serious style problems begin. His head movement and footwork are easily disabled by double jab and constant feints, so Tate will not understand when to use defensive maneuvers. From this follows the second problem, which did not allow him to become a truly top-tier fighter. Andrew is a pure counter-striker and needs space to work. But if you take away his space and constantly press, his style will stop working immediately. Almost all of Tate's defeats are similar. He's chased around the ring and he cannot find space for counterattacks. Part of it is not Andrew's fault, but his coaching staff's. This flash
What I say earlier, everybody coaches different. Exactly what I said, bro. I need to be a boxing coach one day.
unorthodox fighting style is unfortunately doomed. Martial arts have long found the answer to such flashy counter-strikers. Take Raymond Daniels, for example, who I talked about earlier. He's essentially Tate, but head and shoulders better at everything. But even he couldn't win a title in glory. Every time he came across a fighter with good basics, Raymond ended after one round. The recipe against such fighters is simple. 1. Pressure. 2. Low kicks. 3. Patience. Already in the second round, fighters of this style cannot run to look for space because of fatigue and beaten legs. After that, you can enter the boxing distance.
I take that back, bro. I'd rather do Muay Thai boxing than kickboxing. I can't kick, which I'm pretty sure in Muay Thai boxing, I think that you can kick. I know that you can do elbows, knee. I'd rather do Muay Thai boxing. Cause I don't want no nigga. I can't kick,
Or
bro.
clinch,
I not
where
got
you
the
can
type of
safely
balance.
beat them up. Verdict. If you have questions, you can.
I don't care less about their verdict. This video about put me to sleep. It was boring. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.